In this video, I want to talk about the 5 things I hate about my 2024 Africa Twin Adventure Sport. And let me clear something up here before we go further into this video. When I state I hate something on this bike, it's honestly more or less something I wish Honda would do on these bikes, because there is no denying I absolutely love the Honda Africa Twin platform. This is my second one. I've had a 2022 Adventure Sport and now with the 2024. And I really think us as YouTubers or influencers, promoters, advertisers at the end of the day, right, should really start implementing stuff like this, coverage like this, because these manufacturers, whether it be motorcycles, cars, tech, or anything like that, these manufacturers do watch these videos and they honestly read the comments as well. So again, you all chiming in down in the comments, not just to boost the algorithm or anything, but again, leaving your feedback down there. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you wish it had? Helps out as well, because again, they watch these videos and they read the comments. And again, hopefully this just makes the space better and maybe the bike better down the road. So I want to start with the first bit, and that is the shifter here. More importantly, the quick shifter. This should be included on this motorcycle. You're talking upwards of $18,000 just about. Base Africa Twin, roughly around $15,000. Still, two very expensive motorcycles. And it does not come with a quick shifter, which is only a $300 accessory. I mean, come on, just about all other manufacturers have the quick shifter on there. If you're thinking Triumph, KTM, which you got to pay to unlock, weirdly, you know, but a lot of other bikes have the quick shifter. And talking this premium top dollar motorcycle, that should be included in standard on both trims of this Africa Twin. And trust you me, it makes such a massive difference on this motorcycle. It's so much more fun to ride. Again, my previous Africa Twin was a DCT. I personally love the DCT platform. I just don't like feathering a clutch constantly. Plus, if you're on the twisty, you just want to downshift or pop it up. This quick shifter is amazing. We can also adjust in the settings to, again, make it firmer or softer. In the exhaust, when it just pops with it, oh my gosh, it sounds amazing. So again, if you get this bike, you need to get this upgrade. In Honda, in the future versions of this, you need to include this. Next up is going to be the controls. And not so much there being a bunch of controls here, which a lot of people do complain about. If you got DCT, you even have a few more over here. But for me, is these controls need to be backlit. We're talking about a touring bike, which we're going to be riding for a long time in all conditions, daylight, dark, so on and so forth. And these controls, you just can't see them when it's dark. They should be backlit. Again, multiple other manufacturers do this. Seems quite simple. Why not? And that's something I've complained about even on my previous Africa Twin. And again, coming from a Triumph Tiger where it has that, it's like, man, you really miss it once you use it, right? Like a lot of people say cruise control, you don't need it, so on and so forth. But once you start using cool features like that, it's almost like, man, why don't I have it here? And again, you're talking an $18,000 bike, why not? Okay, so this one is, I don't know, man, a little hit or miss here. This one's kind of nitpicky, right? So we got the Adventure Sport, which is definitely built more for touring, and that goes right in line with these tires. They're using the Bridgestone Battle Axe A41s. I've used the AT41s and the AX41s, which will be going on this in a future video, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell, because I'll be covering that as well. But anyways, talking about these tires, they are 100% road. I did basic simple fire roads with these, and again, they are not good. These are 100% on the road. But if you plan on sticking primarily to the road with this bike, these tires are phenomenal. They are amazing. I did a long tour, about 1,400 miles, going up Tennessee, all the twisties and stuff, and these tires are amazing if you plan on standing on the road. Again, me doing basic fire roads, they're dancing around all over the place. You're turning and it's just moving. The front one, the rear one is moving all over the place. So I will keep these in the garage, and if I know I'm going to do just a basic tour, primarily sticking to road, I'll slap these back on, because again, they are amazing for the road, but I don't buy an adventure bike just to stick to the road. I want to do a little bit of dirt, even if that's easy dirt as far as, like, again, a simple fire road. I want to be able to do it, and these are not good for that. Next up is one that I've had a lot of questions about. That is this right here, that flows over, the heat coming from the engine. And yes, you do notice it. So as you see, if you were sitting on the bike, the fans right here are going straight forward. bounces against that, comes through any cracks that it has, comes around and swoops into your legs. And yes, you do feel it. It's not deal breaking by any means. Now, of course, I live down south, so you feel heat a whole lot more, but you're always hot, you know what I mean? So I think what they should have done is, again, angle these a little bit, maybe out this way to throw it out, or again, put a deflector. You can get the lower wind deflectors, which go in the front, but that's not going to serve much purpose. So that heat comes over and you feel it right on your knees. It's nothing deal breaking by any means, but again, you do notice it. Now that's a common issue on Triumph bikes. Again, with my 900 Rally Pro, it's a known issue there. I think they fixed it on the new ones, I'm not sure, but again, on mine, which was a 23, you noticed it. And I will tell you what, if you've ridden one of those, that heat is significantly more noticeable than this bike here. You do notice this right on your knees, but it's not really covering your entire leg, and it's not really excessively spicy hot like the Triumph was. So that's a pro, I guess, but again, still a stinker that it's an issue. And next up is going to be the seat. And, you know, how do I explain this here? They did improve the seat. It is softer. You clear as day notice it. When you're going over bumps, like you feel yourself almost bounce, not the suspension, but again, the seat, which they did make a whole lot more plush. It is still a little narrow, which you notice on some bikes. I wish it was a little bit wider coming through there, which we will be putting a seat concepts on this bike as well. But the main thing about the seat, which could, again, go into the ergonomics of the new Adventure Sport, is, again, it's lower. You feel the front being lower, obviously the back's lower, the whole bike is lower, but it feels like the front is dipped down, resulting in the seat always having a slight slope forward. So I'll catch myself kind of scooting to the back here a little bit. And again, for long tours, it gets annoying with that slight slope forward. So yes, it is soft. It is comfortable, if I could say that, but that slope forward, which could also be into the ergonomics of the bike, does get pretty annoying and painful. But again, the ergonomics of this bike, the camera cannot pick it up. You really got to go sit on one, but the whole bike sits lower. Again, the front is lower. If you look up here, this would be probably seating position. The front of the bike, everything as far as your dash and your instrument controls are lower. And you sit on a base Africa Twin, the screen, this little Apple CarPlay, is probably more or less up here when this one is dipped down. So what that results in, again, is that slope in the seat, and you don't sit in the bike as much on the Adventure Sport. Hence the reason I keep mine in the low position, which I can flat foot it amazing with a kink in my legs, but even in the high position, I can still flat foot this bike, but I keep it in the low position, again, so I feel like I'm sitting more in the bike, which is just what I like for, again, long tours, a little more wind blockage. I feel in tuned with the bike there. So you might be thinking, does that slope go away if I put it in a high position? No, it does not. It is still there. And again, that's because the ergonomics of the bike being lower in the front. My next complaint, which I'm going to class as one complaint here, which is cosmetic, and I know a lot of you might be like, man, this stuff is petty, or oh, you knew it before you bought the bike. Sure, I get it. But again, no bike is perfect, right? So my complaint here is the forks being bronze and then the wheels being gold. Just looking at that, it just throws it off a little bit. You know, the previous ones were still a little bit more bronze, but it matched more to the gold. This is like clear as day, a dark bronze, and then a light gold here. It just, again, just jacks with me. And the other thing is this fender. You know, I don't like this fender being navy blue. It does flow with the graphics up here and everything, but I think it would have looked a whole lot better being white and then with some navy blue graphics. So hopefully some third-party company comes out with some graphics that we can cover that up with, because it just throws off the flow of that cool white design, bam, into this awkward navy blue fender up here, which again just looks weird in my opinion. So there we go, the 5 things I don't like about my 2024 Africa Twin. And as you were watching this video, you probably caught on, it's not really things I don't like, it's more or less things I wish the bike had, which again can kind of go one into one. But riding a bike and just, again, touring with the bike, doing everything with it is just such a blast. It's an amazing platform. There's just things I wish Honda would improve on it. And, you know, we all know about the adaptive cruise control patent that's out there and everything. So maybe in the next iteration, again, they're going to implement a whole lot more into it. But simple things like light up controls over here, backlit controls, you know, a little bit more somewhat of an off-road worthy tire, hence we're buying an adventure bike here. It's just weird things. It's like, why not? You know, that's just the vibe I get here. But again, I absolutely love this bike. But please let me know down in the comments as well, what do you think? What are things you wish were different on this bike? Because again, It's not just for the algorithm. It's, again, these manufacturers do watch these videos and read the comments, and your comment hopefully, again, will help the space and, again, this Africa Twin platform down the road. Who knows? Maybe our little tiny platform here could help out a little bit, you know. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was maybe helpful in one way or another. And if it was, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.